What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Shattered Lands. Welcome back to the XP Guild of the Shield Wardens game today. It is Monday when we stream. We're kind of back on our old bi-weekly schedule. Whatever. If you're noticing this in the States being an hour later, well, our British friends across the seas changed their times differently than we do. So thus, here we are an hour later. Next time, we'll all be on the same track. We'll start the same U.S. times, 10 a.m. Pacific, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, when last we left off, the party was in the capital city of Pylumen upon the island of Helot, the island that has been overrun by these collared individuals that have kind of taken control of the government, have summoned some minor demons to support them. They have built up their strength here. The party has been able to put a bit of a damper on that by a concerted attack to destroy the fog, the mist generators that kind of cover the island, putting them in a weird time, like inside the mist area would have been sped up time, giving them more time to be able to develop their forces, develop their position. So they've been able to cease that. So they're now on the same track as their home island and now are attempting to work within the city to develop plans, to develop a kind of foothold here for hopefully a way to destroy and eliminate the power base here within the city itself. And so let's get back to our party as they wake up within the Cartwright, this tavern that they spent the night partying with the caravan crew that they had traveled into the city with. And let's see what our party decides to do for their first full day within the capital city of Pylumen. Welcome back, guys. As you wake up to the sound of the city, kind of waking up and bustling outside, the smell of freshly cooked breakfast wafting up from the Cartwright. You can smell eggs and bacon and some fresh bread being baked as you guys start to awaken. What is it everyone is up to?
Pius would have woken up before daylight, would have went out onto the city itself, did his rounds, checking out things, getting, the lay of the land, and eventually figuring out which is the best places for bread and breakfast and the like, then proceeding to take such items. As
All right.
Eventually he makes his way back to the group.
Okay. Who would have been the next to have awoken?
I probably would have been awake first out of the slumbering free. Just probably Vietnam flashbacks of my boots being constantly stolen would keep me waking up first. Smelling the breakfast, the bacon, the eggs, kicks the bed, the bottom, like the stumpers of beds of the other two, just to wake them, and say I'm heading to breakfast, and follow my nose.
No, Mum, I don't want to go to Latin class. Please don't make me go. They're so mean over there. What?
I'm gonna go breakfast, following my nose.
Oh, yeah. Nice. All right. I'll come with you. Hang on. I'm going to put on some clothes. Hold on.
I don't know why I just have this picture of Randall sleeping in the nude.
100%.
Waking up,
I'm not really
standing
aware
up.
of it.
Yeah, just like, oh, hey, maybe I should put the clothes on. You know?
As I go past, I'll make sure to fondly slap Lucius in the face awake. Healing word! That's kind of...
I'm awake. Yeah, he'll head down as well.
This breakfast, is there many people who are attending? Like, how many people were staying at the place?
Yeah, so it is fairly early still in the morning, but the Cartwright, as you get in there, seems to be pretty full. There's quite a bit of people. You'll be able to manage to find like a table somewhere in there. There's a couple of them that are empty, but it is fairly full. It seems like there's a lot of merchants, including a lot of the caravan that you had kind of spent your time with the night before, that are either starting their day to exit the city and head back, like your caravan would generally be heading back up the road today. Some other people who are here and they're looking to probably venture out into the city some more, as the day gets going, plus a few that look like they're locals, regulars that are kind of getting their morning breakfast here before they head off to whatever job they have within the city. It's bustling around. There are a few of these servers, similarly dressed as before in those kind of like leather aprons and like work attire that make them look like they are, Cartwrights. So they are bustling about, dropping off food. There is a bartender that for the most part isn't doing much other than serving food and, keeping the kettle on. There's actually like 3 or 4 kettles over hanging within the fire area, these cast iron kettles that are just like steaming. Some of the servers will come over and pick it up and go fill up people's teas, and work their way around the room.
I'll gesture to one of the people serving the food and just like 4 breakfast specials, and then I'll point to the table with the villagers that we came up with, if there's spare seats, so we can sit with them and say our goodbyes and have a chat with them with any last piece of knowledge we can get.
Oh yeah, sure. For sure, they would definitely make room for you guys. They would, kind of scoot around. Some of these places, like these tables, have like benches on one side where they're sitting, and then like chairs at the end. So some of them kind of like squish a little closer together. Someone grabs a chair and pulls them over to the end, so there's enough room for you guys. And they're already, kind of like working on their food. And they greet you.
Morning. I'll make sure I've got a spare seat that's just empty as well, because I expect Pius is just going to turn up eventually, and I'm not going to see it coming. Yeah. I've learned now. Morning. I guess you guys will be heading off soon.
Yeah, that we will. Yeah, Tam, the caravan leader, is kind of sitting there. He's got probably like half his plate's already emptied. He's got a big piping like mug of tea going. You guys look pretty spry for the amount of partying it seemed like you guys were doing last night.
I look across at Randy. Like, some of us were seasoned pros, I guess.
Well, that was partying. That was a Tuesday. Respectfully, we had a great time and we really enjoyed the journey. But if you really want to party, you let us know. We'll hook you up. Show you how we actually can do.
Well,
I'd really love to stay friends. Like, I may come visit again if that's okay at the village.
Oh, of course, yes.
Your hospitality and the welcoming.
Yeah, do you want to write down your name and address real quick? And I open up my notebook and I give it to him if you just want to put that down there.
Be pen pals.
He'd scribble in.
While he's scribbling, I'll be like, this isn't what I expected though from the capital. Like, no, I can understand it as the capital, but there seems to be so many guards, and the curfew as well surprised me.
Oh yes, well, from what I've heard, there was a attack on the city not too long ago, and they've decided to up the protection for the safety of the citizenry.
Who would want to attack them though? Was there like attacking country, or is it in country? Is there I lean and whisper a rebellion of?
Well, then they kind of like look around a little bit and he leans a little bit closer. Well, yes, seems like there's a group that is fighting against the prince. I feel like these new changes he's made is not beneficial. I don't know. I try to stay out of the politics. They pay my bills, but there's the various creatures flying around the skies, disconcerting at the best of times.
I
Wow.
agree. But does this group have a name? If only just out of interest. Like,
I mean, I've heard whispers. A group called the Iron Oaks, I think is what they call themselves. But, I mean, they say they captured one of them, that a woman, during the attacks. But other than that, I've never really run into any of them. Not that I know of, anyways.
yeah, I suppose a group like that, they have their ways of getting around, I guess, undetected.
Yeah, I mean, how could you possibly know if someone's a member of the Iron Oaks, you know?
Yeah, I mean, if they're smart, I guess they don't tell people unless they're sure of their allegiance or lack thereof.
I don't know.
Is there a section in the city that we should avoid if they are more known to be in that area? We don't want to be caught up in that.
We don't want to
situation.
walk into their clubhouse.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Just imagine we went to a random tavern and it was theirs.
Like the absolute home base or something like that. We should probably know just to avoid it.
You're in.
I don't spend much time in the city, so I'm sorry you wouldn't be able to help you much there. But never know. I've always felt that bartenders and servers tend to have the pulse of the city, so could always try one of them. And almost on cue, like a girl, or I guess woman, probably like in her mid-20s or so, black hair pulled back in a ponytail, kind of comes and starts dropping the plates for you guys.
I'll just put that spare one in front of the empty seat, and I'll turn, half expecting Pius to already be there. But
And you actually, yeah.
every time.
I'm not even surprised at this point. He likes to come quickly. I'm
No,
not
I-
like that. I say looking up at the lady.
I see that y'all have ordered food.
They were cooking it. I smelt it. It just made
Yeah.
sense.
I brought extra, and I start pulling out extra food. That's fresh.
Yeah, but it's not cooked.
It
Yeah,
is
but
cooked.
bread. Feel how warm that bread is, though. Oh, that's lovely. That. Here, feel
That's
that.
fine.
And I just put it right on Lucius's nose. Like, feel that. Look how warm that is. Oh, that's lovely. That. Oh, you ruined it. Look, it's got a big hole. Oh, Lucy.
Wait a
What do you like,
minute.
mate?
And I get the bacon and put it inside the hole.
Hey, Danger.
Getting creative today, huh?
Hold on 1 second. I'm going to take one of the eggs from Piles, and I'm going to crack it raw onto the actual thing there. Then I'm just going to slowly heat it up with my using what do I have that's vaguely soft and gentle with my spells?
Do you have like?
I was gonna say,
Fireball?
No,
This is
fireball.
the typical
Do you have, like-
Randall. I have this spell. Oh no, I don't.
Prestidigitation?
No. I end up with I don't even have prestidigitation.
Thaumaturgy.
I'm gonna go I'm gonna look to actually go because I clearly have seen magicians heat things up. I'm like, all right, fine, here we go. Gonna hold it. I'm gonna end up doing a straight up levitate, and the raw egg's gonna land on my head. Unfortunately, nope, that's no good. That's no, and I can't even clean. I'm covered in egg. I'm covered in egg.
You are
Excuse me.
supposed to
I'm gonna look
eat
at the.
that, not play with it.
I was trying. I didn't. I apologize. I'm gonna look at the black hair guy and go, excuse me. Sorry, what's your name?
Marlene.
Marlene, could you direct me to somewhere where I might actually quickly ablute myself? Is that all right?
Yes, we have a washroom right over there. And she points to, a kind of area where there's probably like 4 doors on the back wall. All of them kind of looking like they'd be a washroom.
Could you... I get a bit confused in here. I don't want to walk into the girls' room. I'm clearly making some mistakes. I might still be drunk. Do you want to walk with me real quick and actually tell me which one is the right one to go to?
I mean, to be fair, they're all washrooms, so the door's not locked. You're welcome to use it. They're
All
single spots.
No, that's fine.
Randy,
yeah,
do you want to pay for the breakfasts at the bar on your way?
I'll go take care of that. No bother. And I mutter to myself, going, doesn't like halflings. She's blind. Fine. I think. I'm going to do a quick mental message in her head going, oh, he's quite nice, actually, trying to imitate her voice. Oh, I should actually go and find out what he's like. Oh, look at that bum. It's kind of nice. No, don't stare.
She's
Yes, that persuasion.
walking off to like try to serve another table, but you see her kind of chuckling as she like walks off to like fill someone's tea back up.
All right, I'm going to go wash my hair in the sink because I'm a halfling. So that's going to require quite a bit of acrobatic work. I think I have to... I'm going to end up doing like a headstand in the fucking sink, spinning around.
Make sure you lock the door, because if someone walks in at that moment.
Did not lock the door. Didn't happen at all. Nope. Gonna roll a quick acrobatics to see if I crack the fucking sink. Excuse me.
It's
Sounds
like a
lovely.
bird in a bird feeder.
Oh, I'm alright. It's okay.
As you're pulling this off, you hear the door creak open, and you hear, "Oh dear, I'm so sorry. I don't. Good luck." And you hear the door shut as this like old guy kind of peeked his head in and was like, "Oh no, someone's in there."
I shout back, I took some salts, but they're summer salts. Oh, good jokes. Gonna be sad at myself for making that terrible pun that early in the morning and go, I need to have some coffee. This is not good.
Oh.
All right, and I'll head over to the bar to pay for the food for everyone at the table. I'll take care of that real quick as a way of saying thank you.
There is a kind of bigger, heavy-set, darker-skinned gentleman back there. He's kind of got graying black hair, a kind of beard that's not like a super long beard, but just like a short little, well-kept beard, graying in patches, tending the bar. He was talking to a couple of the guests at the bar, then he sees you walk up, goes, "Oh, hello, little one. How can I help you?"
I'm here to actually pay the bill, biting back the urge on hearing little one. I'd like to pay for the bill for that table of individuals. I imagine it's quite a big amount. Some might say at least more than average sized. Anyway, how much is that, sir?
All right, son. And he kind of like glances over. Looks like we're about 5 gold.
All right, I drop 5, and then I put a 6th one just off to one side of it, and I go, I'm new in town, and I'm looking for a little bit of help with no questions asked. And I was wondering if maybe you might know a guy.
Kind of glances at the gold and like gathers the 5 gold and drops it in like a wooden box that's behind the bar. Pulls the other one back. Well, depends on what you need help with, but I know many guys and girls.
I appreciate the offer. I'm looking to do a little bit of import-export, if you know what I'm saying. And I don't really want people who think it's their business to be involved in my business. Now, I'm fine with your usual guards and whatever. I'm used to that. I'm used to law officials. But I've come into Palumin and here I am ready to start doing what I need to get done. And I'm hearing stories about it being a group that may be looking for other kinds of trouble. And I need to just know how to avoid them. Now, that's going to be a weird one to ask. And I say to you, a stout kind of oak, one that's maybe metallic in nature. I would be concerned about those individuals getting wind of my business. Like I said, I'm new to the city, and I know you got a lot of different wards. Are there particular areas or, God forbid, taverns that I need to avoid in the area?
Well, if you're looking to avoid said individuals, the Terrace Taverns in the Garden Ward.
Yeah.
They tend to have some members that I think have been thought to be that way. Depending on what other individuals you're looking to avoid, I hear the Silver Coat often has a member of, I guess what you'd call the new ruling class that tends to venture there often. That one is in the that is up in the Temple Ward nearest to the castle.
The new ruling classes. I thought I acted on euphemism. I put another gold piece next to that first gold piece, and I just look at it. I'm not even looking at him now. I'm just looking at these two gold pieces, and I go, thing about gold is that it tends to attract more gold, you know? It's very interesting that happens.
Strange how that works, huh?
Yeah. So you're saying to me that were I to head over to the Garden Ward and go to the Terrace Taverns, that would be a big problem for someone like me who's trying to avoid someone like them. And if I wanted to make sure that I was dealing with a new ruling class, I should probably head over to the Temple Ward. That would be the best play, right?
That's what it sounds like, yeah.
Interesting. It's interesting.
It would be awful if you to, possibly get those mixed up, though,
Yeah, that would be a nightmare. And if one were to get them mixed up and ended up walking into the wrong ward, putting another gold coin next to it and just staying it thoughtfully, I wonder, who would I ask for? To make sure I don't say the wrong name. I'm given to say that, occasionally I get a little bit of Tourette's and I just blurt out the wrong name. John, Michael, Stephen. I don't want to do that. So if I know which particular name it is, I can just put my fist in my mouth.
Well, if you were trying to avoid an individual, you wouldn't want to ask for Enid Galstead. A wonderful appearance, I suppose, of a tiefling female that may or may not have a very sturdy tree growing in their yard.
Enid. See,
Enid.
That's a big problem for me because I tend to say Enid a lot. It's worrying. But I'm glad you told me about that. I'd ask for your name, but honestly, and I put a fourth gold coin next to it, I just don't think it's necessary. What do you think?
Probably not, but I'll be here most mornings if you ever need more guidance for the city.
Let's just call you my little guide then.
All right, big one.
I'm the biggest. Don't forget it. I do a little wink of that end to any woman who's within a 10-foot range. Doesn't matter if they're even aware of my presence or existence on this planet. I'm going to be like, as a reflex, I'm going to push the 4 coins over to the guy. And I'll go, I'll see you soon, guide.
I hope so. And he'll slide the coins off and
Nice.
pocket
Okay,
3 of them. He puts one off to the side. And as the waitress walks by, if anyone's paying attention, he hands her one of the gold, the one that's serving your table. And kind of gestures towards the table. She smiles and pockets it.
Moves on. I'm going to come back to the table and I'm going to make myself a fried egg sandwich with tomato sauce. Let the yolk run runny and then just coat it and just munch. And then whilst I've got the fried egg in my sandwich, I'm going to mumble over to yourself there, Pios, and go, got a lead. I think we need to head over to the garden ward. Look for a tiefling called Enid living over in the terrace taverns. Thing is, I'm not saying that. I'm saying actually over to Lucius. I'm saying, mate, this is the best sandwich I've ever had. But you're getting that thought come through your head as I'm speaking to you mentally.
Gotcha. I think he's trying to point under the table to you, and when he goes like tiefling, that gives me an idea.
All right. Okay.
Yeah,
Just
well,
chat
once
down
we
at
get out
breakfast.
of here,
Livius.
let's go to an alley before we go to the ward.
That's good.
Are we off? Bye, guys. I really hope we do meet again. I'll definitely visit the village next time. Once we get our airship back, it makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, thanks for the work. It was had a good time.
Oh, well, thank you. It was nice having a group so capable along. Made our travels easy, and can't say you're bad company at all. So I appreciate that.
If I ever decide to settle down, I'll make sure to head to the town if you guys want to hire me.
Oh, always looking for a good party man to work. You know where to find us.
Yeah, he'll stick out his arm out to shake their hands.
Yeah. Grasp your hand, shake it.
Shake the whole man up and down. Ah!
he finishes up his food and kind of glances around the table. Well, guys, we should probably be heading out too, so we're gonna gather up our carts and get going. Good luck. And he gets up, and then the rest of the group kind of slowly gets up, and each one saying, thanks, goodbye, as they get up and venture out.
Grab my stuff and get ready to go.
Where we go?
We're gonna head over to the terraced. Wait, where are we going? Yeah, I had this. Just wrote it down. That's why I wrote it down. Terrace Tavern, over in the garden ward.
Okay.
Go on.
Another-
Got a contact there.
Oh, I thought we were drinking. Okay, no worries. No, yeah, we can.
We can do two
Fine.
things. We can do
Yeah,
two
it's fine.
things. That's fine. Tell you what, it's a long walk, to be fair, between here and there. Let's grab a couple of beers on the way. We could do a little mark crawl from here to there.
You walkies. Yeah.
Few walkings. Just
So we
saying.
should hit the alley
the
up before
Best way
we,
to find a city
get
out is to stop off at every single supermarket, little market spot between here and there. And we get a beer, drink it, and make sure it's drunk before we hit the next one.
Okay. Seems interesting, but I like that. Learn the culture.
It's 9, 10 in the morning. It's about right. It's about the right time to start drinking, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
Or was it Wednesday?
I don't know. It's a day. It's definitely a day for sure.
Yeah, that's good enough for me. Right.
Yeah, so why?
It's a wine drop.
How do we get to the garden ward?
And east.
Yeah, you guys currently, Dave, you might want to go out just a little bit, are over here at the cart right, and the garden ward is just basically the next. It's kitty corner across the streets to get into the garden ward.
Oh. Yep,
You
I
guys
see it
don't
now.
know.
Way over there.
I put on the map the Terrace Tavern, which is here. You guys don't currently have that directions, but I figure asking around a little bit, it wouldn't be hard to find out where the Terrace Tavern is within the Garden Ward itself. So the Garden Ward is everything between like this fat line, this circle that kind of follows this area, that whole area, plus everything kind of up to the wall, up to this main road. It's kind of how the wards are divided. If you draw a line from the top to the bottom and left to right, it's kind of the more or less the delineation following those roads. So yeah, you guys head off. Is there anything else you guys are looking to do while you set out, walk through the city, or are we just kind of, trying to get to the Terrace Tavern as quickly as possible?
I don't think we're in a rush as such that we'd sprint or anything, but
Yeah.
I feel we'd probably be walking casually and blending in as such, not exactly like a sneaking around the alleys.
Lucius wants to keep an eye open just because to see if we see different groups by other than guards, obviously.
It's probably also not a bad idea for us to not walk as a foursome, since we don't have any kind of disguise on our faces anymore. It's probably a good idea for us to break up into different spots. So I would probably turn to the three of you when we get outside the cart right after 50 yards and realize that I'm looking beautiful again, and go, Pius, it's probably a good idea, mate, if you see if you can get up on the rooftop. Be a vantage point for us up there, just walk through there. Big city like this, the band has some second story rafters, you know what I mean, spots for the rogues and that. They like to not walk on the main street. If you get up there, you'll be able to see what's going on, and that way we don't have four of us looking like the four that they're looking for, you know what I mean.
Was planning on going below, but up on the rooftops and whatnot could be advantage.
Right, if you're up that way and we have two big uns walking side by side, you just like normal geezers, innit? And I'll walk on the other side of the road to you lot, but I'll just be playing a song and just being I'll be myself, shall I say.
Question as we exit and we're heading out, do you follow this central main road here, or do you head south along this main road to head in? Both will be part of essentially the garden ward in one direction or the other. Just curious as to what you're going to come across.
Split up and one goes south, the other one take the main road, just so we can see the layout.
I think if we start splitting up on the main roads, we're going to not see each other after about 50 yards, and we won't be able to keep.
I don't know where I'm going.
And I think our natural inclination would be we want to get away from the city walls and away from what would be potentially considered to be a more defensive area. The quicker we get into the center of the city, even though it may be going into a more dangerous position, it's also more sensible because you wouldn't have as many soldiers in the city center as you would on the outside defending it. Does that make sense?
Sure. And even as you guys exit the cart right, you will spot across the street, there seems to be like a large stone building that at first glance may have looked like a, nice house or a possible tavern or whatever, but you spot guards kind of going in and out of this particular building. heading over to the gate or walking into the city, starting their patrol routes out. This seems to be a location of one of the guardhouses within the city itself. This stone building directly across the street from you. And then easily enough, you guys head up that main road that kind of cuts through the center of the city. The Temple Ward to your north, the Garden Ward to your south. And as you're walking through, you spot various individuals kind of bustling. This is the main thoroughfare, so probably one of the larger, wider streets within the city itself. There are people heading like off into each direction of the wards. You'd see quite a bit that look like they're kind of religious affiliation of some sort, walking along the streets, heading up and down this main road, heading towards various temples, which do have these like larger, more grander scale designs to them. And you can kind of spot them amongst the other houses that probably service the various temples themselves, being like the priests or the servants that serve that area. You'll see a lot of merchants kind of moving along the road. There are also some like street vendors that have essentially set up, some of them selling like handcrafted items. They've got like, blankets set out, and they're kind of sitting there with their items on the blankets, and they're sitting behind it in locations. You have some that are selling like street food, little carts that have, food put together. And just other general workers that, you see bustling off to areas. You see some people carrying like firewood around. They've got like these big old, like bound with twine, essentially firewood bundles that they're like carrying, delivering them to houses. There's like a cart that they kind of follow that seems to have like bundles of these firewood. They're going down this main road, and someone will grab them and then like rush off to various spots and then come back empty, and then they grab a couple more, rush out. You'll spot a cemetery a few blocks down up here on the right hand side of the road as you're walking down. Is there anything in particular, or is that generally cover the initial questions asked as to the groups and stuff you spot?
Clothing wise, in the city, the normal denizens that we're seeing, are they the kind of people that have clothing where you generally see people's necks?
For the most part, it seems so, yes. There are, especially at this morning hour, several people with like scarves wrapped around their necks, trying to stay warm, sort of thing. Like there are some that are like bundled up a little bit more, especially those that aren't like working hard. The ones that are running off, like carrying the firewood, seem to be just down to like, a sturdy shirt and slacks, running over. They're working up a sweat already at this hour. But there are others that are like still kind of bundled up, which those tend to be harder to see. But the general fashion seems to be you'd probably be able to see their necks if they're out in normal day wear.
I guess my questions would be, as we're walking past in the order of the stuff that you mentioned, the temple that we went past, do I recognize what religion it is?
Yeah, that first one you see, this kind of, it's a lighter color, like eggshell, sort of like that light white to slightly yellowish color building, is a temple to like the sun god. Sol, I think, is what we have here.
My next question is, on the cemetery next to it, is that cemetery open plan, or is there a fence that goes around it? If there's a fence that goes around it, is there one, two, or many gates in and out of the cemetery?
Yeah, there are iron gates that go around it. There seems to be several gates that go in and out of it. as it is like a whole city block essentially of the cemetery. So there are probably gates about every 100 yards or so.
And are
they're
there
not.
more... Sorry.
I was gonna say they're not guarded or anything like that. They seem to be, at least at this hour of the day, open. They do have locks affixed to them, so you would guess that they are locked at a certain hour of the night, sort of a thing, to keep people from, causing mischief in the cemetery. They're probably about 8-foot high iron gates, like walls, fencing, that have a good, 6-inch or so spread between the bars, and the top of the bars are kind of spiked to try to deter people from climbing over. Spiked and then angled outward just slightly to... You've all seen them.
Yeah. We know we are. And within, as we're going past the cemetery, do I see any mausoleums inside? Any actual stone structures that look like mini buildings inside there at all?
Yeah, there would for sure be a couple of mausoleums that are that you can spot in there.
Any of them look like they've got any particular symbol, or which makes them look a little bit unique or different to the others?
Give me a perception check to see how much you can spot from the road.
Okay. I am going somewhere with this, honestly. I'm not just being...
No, I had a feeling. That's why I'm making you roll for it.
11.
Okay. Really tough to see from the street.
Okay. I am going to mark one that I can see, and I'm going to shoot a thought out to the guys who I hope are within 30 feet of me, saying, mark that building there. If we get split up at any point at night, let's head for that spot there, and we'll make that our spot to hide for the night, all right? If shit goes down, that's where we head to. Cemetery, mausoleum. Okay.
I mean, I'm assuming you guys are, at least some of you are traveling close enough that you'll be able to pick these things up.
Get out of my head, Randy.
I just went from, as he was saying that, I went from a 30-foot building to a 40-foot building.
You just missed it, huh?
Guys, make sure you mark that. Okay, good.
You're... that...
Wait.
Sorry. Guess I can't make work. All right. Cool.
Okay. And then we just head on through, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you guys are just making your way to the Terrace Tavern, no problem. I just wanted to make sure I'm covering anything that you may have wanted to accomplish or scope out on your way there. And you would have spotted it yesterday. You do see, as you're kind of assuming someone asked somebody, generally the direction to the Terrace Tavern, as you're walking along, because there's not like signs that say, "Oh, the Terrace Tavern's that way." There's probably many little like public houses throughout the city itself. These are just the ones that have been called out to you. But you will spot this large tower within the Temple Ward that you can see a skyship like docked up to it in the center as you kind of take the turn south along this path here. And it is Gazebo Way is the name of this particular thing. They all seem to, as you see the different street names, they all seem to have some sort of like garden or even tree name sort of thing, plant name here and there, something that is related to that kind of ridiculous naming structure. But as you make your way through the city, you will eventually reach the Terrace Tavern here at the corner of Gazebo Way and Hydrangea, because I make up these stupid names at the spot.
I love Hydrangea. That's a great shot.
Question: while we're moving around, because I was keeping my eye open, would I have noticed some different groups at all? Do you need me to roll?
I mean, yeah, you can give me either perception or insight. I'll give you, depending on, I guess, your methodology of spotting who is grouped up.
I think for the heck of it, I'll do insight because usually I always do perception. So let's
Okay.
see.
Yeah.
That is 15.
Yeah, 15. Yeah, like I had said, you do see like groups of religious members. You see a group that are kind of like walking through the streets together that definitely see, while you're on the main road anyways, that seem to be religious members, and they are all in like robes, but they're like green robes with like brown like stoles on, with various like they have basically like what looks like a winding path on them, and they are kind of going around, and it seems to be like going up to the merchants and the horses and stuff, and like touching the horses and giving them blessings as they kind of go through the city. You see the guards, of course. You would probably spot a couple little groups of what would be like ruffians, or possibly could be members of like a thieves guilds, or something of the sort, street gangs that are kind of like grouped up together, kind of eyeing people as they walk through the garden ward area. Yeah, I don't know if there's...
Were there ruffians or is there any guards near them or no?
They tend to be congregated in spots that aren't heavily patrolled, it looks like, but there are... I mean, you'll see a group and you'll see some guards kind of walk through, and they don't really, like, the group's not causing any direct trouble. It's just you can spot, given their like body language and the way that they eye the guards, that, you know, okay, this group is one that the guards keep an eye on. You can see even the guards kind of looking at them and giving that eye, like that don't cause any more trouble, you sort of eye that you know, local beat cops would probably give to the known troublemakers in the city.
I got that. Yeah, I'm gonna excuse myself from the group. I'll be like, I'll be right back, guys. Don't go too far. And I would kind of like, I'm not directly gonna approach them, but I'm gonna do the thing where, let's say they're all sitting one way.
Mm-hmm.
I will go to like a wall nearby, not looking at them, but I will speak to them. I would kind of like put like 5 gold coins next to myself, and I would just go, is this the right group to talk to if I need information or things getting done?
Yeah. As you're there, why don't you roll a persuasion check?
Can I be assisting him in the background, just by singing very softly, playing on the bandolier? Stand clear, don't man talk. You can't stand where I stand, can't walk where I walk. Watch out. Please, man, come. We buzz him at the park. I know as for a fact you don't like how I act. Whoop, whoop, it's the sound of the police. Whoop, whoop, it's the sound of the police. But like medieval style.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Man,
All right.
You'll be killed over here.
Yeah, right. No, that's fine. I was gonna say with the 5 gold, I was gonna give you advantage anyways, so I'm not gonna counteract that.
Now wipe that out.
Yeah.
22.
All right. Yeah. Sorry, hydration. Yeah. The person would kind of glance over sideways at you, see the gold. Well, that depends on the information you're seeking. See this kind of like skinny half-elven blonde hair that's been kind of like streaked back.
I think I'm gonna look at him real quick, and I'm like, I'm gonna make your whole week really interesting when you come a little closer, and I'll slide 1 platinum. And I'm gonna go, I'm a friend of the Vipers, and we are trying to hit the castle, so I need as much information and as much people as you can gather. Would that be a problem?
The castle.
I
Boy, you
walk
got
away.
balls.
I'm like give him like a eyebrow, and I just walk away like, nope.
I mean, unless you guys are scared.
Scared and bloody well suicide are different things.
Well, I'm not asking for you to fight. I'm asking for information and subterfuge.
Mm.
Ways to maybe lead the guards or people to certain areas so we can get in there.
All right.
Your specialty.
Well, I mean, okay, I could entertain a conversation about such things. This doesn't probably the best time and place to do it. Plus-
I would mention we have a warehouse at so and so. Maybe we can meet up there.
Marketwood is not exactly our grounds, but if you want to meet in the main garden, in the middle, there's there's a gazebo there. Just off to the side, there's a small copse of trees. If you want to meet over there, and say
Happy to.
2 hours from now, or so, when the sun's about midday.
Would it be alright if I brought a few friends with?
I was going to bring a few friends myself, so I suppose I can't object.
Okay. And like I said, I would have mentioned that I'm friend of the what are they? Are they called the Vipers or are they
Cloud
Vipers?
Cloud
Yeah.
Vipers, but Vipers, they would, get the gist of it as well.
Yeah, I'll tell them that sounds good. And like I said, I have put 5 gold in there, and then I slid a platinum. So I think I would just add like 5 more gold, and I just say, if you guys want to have some fun before we meet up, and then I'll walk away.
He'll nimbly kind of reach over and pocket the 20 gold essentially worth of bribe that you put down. And yeah.
Yeah, when I go back, I'll look at Hendrix and Randall. I got us some distractions and probably more information. Yeah.
Sorry, you did what?
I'm sorry, what?
I found another group of not Vipers, but whatever their version here is, and we're gonna meet up in 2 hours and talk about information about the place and maybe them causing some chaos to allow us to get to the castle when the time comes.
Please don't tell me you gave them any money.
I did.
Please don't tell me that you told them what our actual plan was.
Just we'll be fine. Let's just go. If they tell anybody, nobody's gonna believe them.
What, did you get any of their names?
Nope. I just got a place to meet at.
So, some guys who you've never seen before, who were just looking dodgy, you thought, that's my guy. And you
My
went up to
friend,
them and said,
you gotta have
no,
faith.
no, hold on. You said to them, we're gonna attack the palace and we want you to join us?
Not exactly, but yes.
And then you gave these people money and they said, come here later on and we'll help you out. You didn't get their name or anything.
Yes, I know. It doesn't make sense. Let's just go. Worst comes to worst, I'll find them and kill myself if they fuck me over. So let's go.
I'm gonna go back to that group of people real quick and say, I'm so sorry about my big brother. He had a brick thrown at him when he was a baby, and he just goes up to random strangers and says the weirdest things. Did he give you any fake money? It'll look like a platinum piece. I'm so sorry. I don't want you to try and spend it. It might go horribly wrong. You're on mute.
Yeah, you're muted.
Well, we'll just have to keep our eye out for that. I
I'm
didn't see any
sorry.
money.
No, that's fine. I would have, like I say, he's a special individual. On occasion, he's given to just saying stuff. Maybe if you tell me your name, we can reimburse you for your time and effort today.
Your friend knows where to meet us and when, if you really want to reimburse our time and effort.
That's fine. I guess then we'll see you at that point. And I'm gonna walk away, my heart crazy heavy. I'm gonna be looking for who it definitely is gonna be following us at this point.
I will like nudge you and say, I did mention that I was with the Vipers, so I doubt they would try to fuck us over.
Oh, cool. So you mentioned a gang from outside the city to a different gang that was either not that gang and is therefore in opposition to it because of how gangs work.
They don't care as long as they're making money. They're gonna make money. That's all they care about. Come on, you should know.
I should know.
You go to places and you play your instruments and you show people a good time and they pay you. It's the same thing, but they hurt people.
I look at Hendrix like, is this a thing?
Can we just go and forget this happened?
Yeah.
I
mean,
let Daisy out and just mentally tell her, if you can, try and keep an eye on that group and just make sure they don't send anybody to follow us.
I go to Lucius. Pick me up. Come here. Come on, lift me up. I want to get on your shoulder, mate. Up here. Come on. Up. Let's go.
I'll put them.
Together, you will make the ultimate person.
I'm gonna just like lean in on his ear, and I'm gonna slowly coach him as to the whys and why nots of approaching strangers in the middle of the day and telling them about a revolution. I absolutely expect him to just look up at me like, I do what I want. Don't tell me what to do, you stupid little halfling.
You're gonna hear from Lucius. He's gonna message you.
Yeah.
Just have some faith, my friend. They hate the authority as much as we do. So.
Old Randy would 100% have ignored that and just carried on laying into you, but he does have faith in Lucius after all, and he will just be quiet for a second and look over his shoulder like, anyone following?
I can't believe you told him I was crazy and shit. Boy, I fuck you up. But I didn't heard all this, so it's all good.
It's all good.
Pios has watched the entire thing from the rooftops and heard everything and has become satisfied. Now the others get Lucius. This is good. And then Pius moves on.
We're going to carry on walking. I'm going to slide off of Lucius after a while because many different reasons, but mostly I don't want to get a piggyback all day long off of Lucius.
I think before we get to where we get to, in my head I would say, you have any ideas? You've been quiet all day.
Oh, I'm just enjoying the show, my friend. This is quite interesting. I wish I could eat popcorn. I do miss that. It was fun watching this wonderful interaction. I'm not sure about telling random people that you plan on attacking the castle, but, you know, who knows? I've been wrong in the past. Some very direct and forward approaches are wonderful, I suppose. Just let me know if you need help.
It wasn't too smart, but I think it'll work out. About that popcorn thing, how about this? The next place that has popcorn, I'll stop there. and I'll let you take over until we get to where we need to get, and then you can give me the reins back. How does that sound?
Interesting. I'm never opposed to having a little bit of control, but I'm just taking a back seat for now. I'm not sure your friends would be as pleased with me controlling things.
It's okay, well, I don't know, won't hurt him, and he'll just keep it at that.
All right.
Hey, Hendrix, you ever notice how sometimes Lucius is walking along and his lips move a little bit like he's talking and he's got this faraway look in his eye? Love it. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, I thought it was like you guys doing your spell casting, but if you're saying that's not that, then yeah, I've noticed it.
Yeah, it's a little... I mean, it's not concerning, but it's definitely disconcerting.
I just thought it was like a twitch.
Maybe it is. You know what? Maybe it's just him reminding himself to breathe in and out, you know, because he's so big, he needs to make sure he's got enough oxygen going all the way around the body.
I look back at him. If he's still muttering, I'm like, maybe. Look down.
Why is he smiling? What's that about?
All right.
I'm gonna step on you at some point.
Oh man, I'm gonna
Do you know
deserve
which
it
way
too.
you've got to go?
Yeah, I think we head down here. No, look. I think that's it. Is that a tavern? It's definitely a bunch of terraces.
Yeah, you actually see this spot coming up, and it is like a tavern that's built, or a building that's built anyways, in like multiple layers. And you can see that it's got like green and like trees kind of growing out from like the next level up there, and there seems to be like tables and people sitting around the edge of this building, kind of like taking in the view of those walking around the streets. And you'll see the sign above it, Terrace Tavern.
Sus.
Coming in and out. Yeah.
Looks very Covent Garden-esque.
I like it. I like the trees on the second level. That's nice. That's pretty.
Yeah, it must have been a hella commitment though. Like, did you think they planted them there, or did you think they moved trees up there?
Do you think the roots go all the way through the building?
Oh, now these are hot. Don't, because as soon as we get in there, these are the questions that are going to... But
I'm going to be
you're
looking
right,
for it.
they must go through the whole building.
Because if they don't go through the whole building, that means that tree is either magical, and that's a lot of magic to keep it going, or something else. Interesting. Let's go. You're around first, and I'll walk on in.
He bought breakfast. I'm down for that. Oh, I wonder how they acted when they realised that the whole bill had been paid for as well.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, to be fair, it's nice to pay for what they did do for us, and for them to think that it's just us being nice.
Yeah.
I mean, without them, we're not getting into the city. So that's 5 gold pieces is nothing.
And I have to admit, that night we spent there and partied was the most relaxed I've been in a long time.
Long time. I feel like myself again, mate. It's been a while.
For sure.
It's caused chaos.
Let's go. And I head into the bar.
All right.
Or the tavern, sorry.
I'm going to strum my bandolore as I'm stepping into the tavern, making a classic morning wake-up song. Probably Wake Up Boo. Wake up, it's a beautiful morning, sun is shining in your eyes. See how long it takes for someone who's hungover to actually throw a glass at my face. Dodge out the way, watch it smash against the wall and go, thanks, sir!
Yeah, so when you walk in itself, the bottom layer of this is definitely smaller than what the outside of the building would make you believe. And as you walk in, you see that the walls themselves are like extremely thick. Like there's the doorway and the pathway in, but then there are like, it's probably like a 5-foot wall section that goes around the whole outside of it. You see a kind of high second floor area. There's stairs that kind of go up. They spiral up to the second floor where it's kind of like a walkway that goes around with doors that you can spot that lead to the various sections outdoors. You can see another stairwell that kind of goes almost immediately from that spot that spirals up to a third floor, but it's like a third floor almost like hatch sort of thing. Like, it's not a hatch, there would be a door that leads directly out onto the third floor of this kind of building. And you see growing out of this kind of high ceiling in this vaulted section of it, there's a few like roots that kind of grow out and are dangling down from that various spot. From those roots themselves, there are like hooked on these like hanging baskets that have like floral setups within them, and another one that's hanging down that seems to have like series of like lanterns or burning torches that don't seem to really go out or seem to like affect anything around them, but produce enough light to light up this interior section. There are a few tables and stuff down here, but it's not as populated. There are like there's a kitchen. You can spot like these almost like saloon style half high doors that kind of swing open and closed as the servers kind of bustle in, go up some of these stairwells and head out to one of the side areas. You can spot like a server taking food over to an area, and it's like a dumbwaiter sort of situation where they raise it up to the next floor up. There is an elderly man standing behind like a little podium as you walk in. He's wearing like a suit. It is a like dark green suit, almost black, but you can tell there's like a touch of green to it, with like silver trim on it. There are these like silver like leaves kind of like embroidered onto the lapel and the sides, the collars of his coat. Greetings, gentlemen. Greetings. Do you require a seat?
Yes, please. A table for 4, if possible. Could we get something up on the second level, maybe?
Of course, yes. So we've got a spot on the second level, or even up to the third, if you really want a good view of the streets.
Let's go up to the third level, actually. I can't even see what's up there. Let's go.
All right, right this way.
Thank you, sir.
And he'll grab a couple of menus and then start leading you up this iron staircase that kind of spirals up to the second floor, takes a couple steps over to the next set to spiral up to the third floor, leading you out of that door there.
On the way up, I'm looking around, trying to take a look at the people who are in. I'm looking for any female tieflings that may be about.
Mm-hmm.
Do I see any?
So as you're walking up the stairs, give me a perception check.
Can I jump in on that? But I'm more looking to see if anybody's entered and followed us in the tavern. I want to see if we're being followed.
No,
Okay.
random guidance.
Give me a perception check with advantage, Hendrix, because of you had Daisy doing this kind of already.
Cool.
Right. So.
I'm rolling so badly today, guys.
Oh! You're rolling badly. With advantage. I just rolled in that one.
With advantage?
Yeah. So that means I rolled 2 nat ones.
Wow.
So I
what
got an
are the
11
odds?
on that.
Yeah.
We're cursed.
I've never seen that before.
Daisy.
Neither have I.
Daisy despite their normal magical ability to follow your commands to the T, seems to be totally, completely lost and probably spotted like a rodent or something, and was like went after it for this, quick snack, even though being a familiar doesn't really require such things. And almost like you feel this sense of shame as you're like trying to ping Daisy to be like, hey, is anyone following us? Daisy's like, so you don't catch that. Randy, what was yours?
12 with the guidance.
12. I mean, you spot a couple groups here and there, but you don't catch a female tiefling. That is until you reach the third floor itself. You guys come out these doors, and basically out the doors there's like an area where the dumbwaiter would come up on one wall, like, so there's a wall that seems to be built up on one side and the other side just kind of open. As you step outside, it's like grassed. The ground up there is grass. There's one tree that seems to be like growing up and out of the central section of this. There is a trellised overhang area with like baskets of flowers like hanging down off to one side, and under that kind of trellised shading area there is a table with 3 individuals sitting, one of which seems to be a very pale, like blue skinned tiefling woman with white hair, these kind of like horns that stick forward and curve upward a little bit off like kind of the temple area, so up and out to the sides. She is dressed in a red kind of summer dress, sitting back talking with 2 other individuals at the table. Her back is kind of to you guys. She's looking out over the city itself, and the waiter walks over and finds you a table, which is kind of on the far right hand side. Like, she's off to the left towards the corner. It's almost as far away as you can get on this level, which isn't that huge, really. There's like 2 tables in between you guys and them, and you're like
what,
third
20
table
feet,
over.
30 feet
Yeah.
away?
Probably about 20
Okay.
20 to
Alright.
30, somewhere in there. Yeah, not too far. I mean, this top floor is not very big. There's like 8 tables up here total.
Are there
Yeah.
other people at the other tables, or is it? Sorry, it is busy with the other tables as well.
Out of the 8 tables, 4 of them are currently occupied. One of the tables in between you and where they were going to sit you is occupied.
Right. Okay. I will say to the gentleman, thank you very much. Can we get a bottle of breakfast wine and 4 glasses, please?
Of course. Yes, I will be sending the waiter up with it directly.
Thank you kindly.
And he'll walk over, and you see another man that he talks to, much younger than this one is. He's got dark hair that's been like pulled back into very short like ponytail that hangs down the back. He's wearing a similar suit on it, except for he's got like an apron tied around his waist. And he pulls out a pad and like jots it down, and then you can spot him kind of like rush off, presumably to go take care of your request, as the host heads back down to his station.
Okay.
So you're at a table set up. At least he, directed you, set all the menus down for you, passed off the order. The table itself is like pre-set up. It's got like the silverware there. It's got these dark green napkins folded up, and they're like folded in such a way that they kind of make like a floral look to it, like it's a flower, with like the silverware then like kind of sticking out through the edge of the roll up. There's already like glasses on the table and a pitcher of water that has been set there, and you guys have a view of the city from the third floor of this building.
This view of the city, like, does it face the castle?
Generally, yes. Yeah, the area, which you can see for the most part over some of these, and you can see the castle because it's like tall enough.
Yeah.
That you'll spot it in the distance. As you will also spot some of the trees from the actual like central garden here in the city, poking up over some of the buildings. It's not like the clearest of views, but yeah, you can kind of see.
Comparatively, like, to the surrounding areas, this is one of the larger buildings, I guess.
Yeah, it's a decent, like, this is the 3-story building, and most of the ones in this surrounding area are at most 2. There are one or two.
Cool.
Yeah, there are 1 or 2 that you kind of spot that may be tall enough to obscure some of the view. One of which seems to definitely be more of like a fortification further to the west that you can see. It's like this big stone, somewhat castle-esque looking, but not quite as big as the main castle. This one right here, I'll ping on the map, would appear to be some sort of fortification or another guardhouse within the city.
Okay. I'll just turn to Randy. This is a nice place. Thanks for bringing us here. Why are we here?
Well, I will talk about the opportunity to actually see such a great view of the city whilst telepathically alerting him to the fact that I believe the person that we want to speak to is behind us, 1 table and a half away from us, with the lovely horns. And as I'm saying that, I would like to do an animating performance on one of the serviettes that's holding the utensils, that's in the shape of a tree, that's in the shape of a shrub. That's okay.
Okay.
So you know what you said, like there was an origami almost setup of how they've made the paper there to hold the tools
Looks like
in.
a flower.
So it looks like a flower. I'd like to animate that so that it forms little legs that move about on the table. And I'm doing that with it. And I'd like to cast a mage hand on that and then move it underneath the table in between us and the other table, up onto the table so it's dancing in front of the tiefling lady. And I'd like to send a command out to it saying, dance for the lady. And then I will, during that dance, I'd like to change the form of the flower so it resembles that of an oak tree, but a tiny little bonsai oak tree, if you will. And then as it continues to dance and it's moving about, I'd like it to rotate slowly to her, so it's like pirouetting on the spot. And as it's doing that, I'd like to have it crunkle and crimple its paper form so that the actual tree leaf bulk of it starts having indented elements into it, saying, and I'd like it to form an H, then an E, then an L, then an L, then an O. Then I'd like it to rotate round, and I can say E with an N, then an I, then a D. And then I'd like it to slowly lift up, and it will blossom out, if you will, pushing its extension of the paper, and it will turn into one hand, and it will have a little finger saying, beckoning towards our table, and I will maintain eye contact, waiting for her to look up and look over to us.
All right.
Subtle.
As this is going, you'll see one of the people at the table kind of turn and look in your general direction as carefully as it can, almost as if they're like trying to just glance at something out in that direction of the city. And they kind of take their time doing so. But you'll see that they have kind of reddish skin with like red hair that kind of like almost wafts in the air. And you see almost like there's a slight heat like coming off of their, like there's almost that heat wave image as you kind of see their red skin. This guy kind of glances over. You can tell that he clocks your table, but he's doing it as subtly as he can. But because you're looking for this, you'll kind of see that.
When I see that he's reacting to that and he's seeing us clocking on the slow level, I'm going to send a telepathic message out to Hendrix and say, head towards that balcony there that's a bit more isolated from everyone else. I'll see if I can get him to go over to you. Remember, the contact is Enid, okay? And if Hendrix responds to that, then I will break down the oak tree as an action and have it fold out one more time into a peace sign, then an okay sign, then a point sign pointing at the balcony before it then falls down into a small little clump and turns into a little heart shape lying on the floor, on the table floor.
I'm confused because you still haven't properly told me what the fuck's going on. And I go to the balcony.
I told you about Enid as the contact before when we were
Contact for who?
What? As a contact for the Iron Oaks.
Okay.
I would have told you this.
Well, it is morning.
All right. If you give me a quizzical look, I would be like, and I would go through it again slowly, and I think to myself, he didn't drink that. Oh, he did have some of the whiskey though, didn't he? Yeah. Okay. No fair.
Cool. I will go to the balcony and get a better view. Just look out. Then turn and lean against it.
You'll see the red-skinned fire ganassi that had kind of clocked you guys earlier will kind of get up and casually like stroll over nearby, holding like a cup of coffee in his hand, lean up against the railing. About the time he gets there, this younger man with the dark hair and ponytail kind of come over and set 4 glasses down at your table. He pulls out like a light colored bottle, like the bottle is clear, but then like a light colored liquid inside, and we'll start pouring. Well, first I'll pour a glass for Randall. Say, hopefully this one works for you, sir. It's on the sweeter side, kind of crisp. And he'll pour 4 glasses. Can I get you anything? Have we had time to decide? May I suggest the summer bouquet? And he'll gesture a spot on the basically the starter section of the menu where it's like a fruit bowl essentially, designed like of various local fruits and such, as an option with like it's got like a glaze, like a sugarish, syrupy topping to it, sort of thing that he.
Hell yes, we can have that. I mean, that would be most suitable. Thank you.
All right. Well, I will give you some time to look over the rest, and I'll get that prepared for you. Anything else I can grab for you?
Not just now. Maybe a little bit of privacy. We'll let you know if we're looking for anything else, sir. And I'll tip him a quick silver piece as a way of saying thank you.
But of course, sir. And he'll rush off. And as we go back to the Fire Genasi and Hendrix, I think that is a good point for us to go ahead and take a 15-minute break, use the restroom, gather up food or anything like that, and we will return here in 15 minutes time to continue today's session, see what information we get to. It's Dave's cue to switch it. If you are enjoying our content, please consider supporting us through Patreon. Patrons get access to videos early, as well as digital content easily imported into your own game or campaign. Every bit of support helps us grow as a channel. Do you enjoy watching a live game? Do you have Amazon Prime? Please consider subscribing using your Prime sub on twitch.tv/thexpguild. This is a free and easy way to support the channel. Finally, if you do enjoy this content and know others who might, tell your friends and family about the XP Guild. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us for yet another XP Guild show. If you are enjoying this, please do us a favor, click like, subscribe, hit the bell notification if you want to be notified when our next show goes live. Feel free to drop us a comment. We'd love to hear from you guys, hear your thoughts on the show, or anything else you want to talk about. I'd like to take a quick moment to say thank you to our friends over at Hero Forge, a Sky Castle LLC product. We are not sponsored by them, but if you're looking for great custom miniatures, check out HeroForge.com. They've been so kind to let us use their art, as many of the miniatures and artwork that we use come from their website with their permission. However, they have not reviewed our content, and so what we do does not necessarily represent their views or beliefs. Again, thank you to Hero Forge.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Now, let's get back to the show.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Shattered Lands, to the Shield Wardens. Our group has found the Terrace Tavern. They have gotten a table, a nice bottle of wine, and the attention of Enid and her companions. Fire Genasi, having kind of scoped out the group and been directed towards Hendrix off to the side at one of the railings here of the third floor of the Terrace Tavern. And that is where we will return. This Fire Genasi moving up next to Hendrix. In that, like, view of I'm moving to, like, lean up against this railing and check out something that's on the street level down below, but close enough to Hendrix that they could converse without necessarily looking like they're trying to converse. All right, you've got our attention. Curious as to why or who you are.
We're rather new to the island. We made friends quite quickly with a woman called, well, we knew her as Valkyrie, who guided us to where we needed to be. I believe she worked for a rock mantle.
He kind of glances over, momentary, like, surprise at you dropping these names.
And, well, we've lost our Valkyrie.
Yes, we've noticed. Now, either you are legit and you have come from these people, or you've managed to gather information from her and somehow tracked it to this particular tavern for some reason. We're very curious, of course, but what is it that you're looking for from us?
A conversation, an audience, a spot of lunch.
All right. Well, and he pauses, kind of get the sense that he's concentrating on something else.
Yeah.
All right. If your friends want to join us for lunch, there's plenty of spot at the table.
Appreciate it.
And he walks away and kind of slides back into his seat, leans back, sipping on his tea.
I'll stay a few more minutes, just really enjoying the view. It's been a while since I've been in a city this big with a view like this. Hours just seem to go on. I'll go back at the table, grab my breakfast wine, and advise the group that we may have dinner plans 2 tables over. Lunch plans 2 tables over.
Okay. I pick up my breakfast wine. We've not yet received our fruit platter. And I'll plop myself down over at the other table. I think I'm going to sit down next to not the tiefling, but the human woman who's next to her.
Yeah, you'll see, like, as you get closer, there's a blonde-haired human woman who's kind of sitting. So Valkyrie is kind of like, not Valkyrie, Enid is sitting in the middle of this table. We were just talking about Valkyrie. Jeez, in kind of the middle spot with the fire Genasi to her right and this woman to her left, with a couple other chairs already there. You guys probably would need to pull up like 1 more chair in order to, or 2 more chairs in order to have enough spot for all of you guys. But the table is big enough. It was just only fitted with 5 chairs for it.
Lucius will grab however many chairs and bring them over. And he'll sit next to whoever's closest. Oh, not like a monkey. He'll just grab them and I know you damn butler.
Yeah. Yeah, so you'll see they are sitting there. They each have like tea in front of them and like a small plate. And in the center, there's like a platter that's just kind of like various like pastry type stuff, like small like cookies, sugar cookie type things, like ginger snap. Nothing like extravagant or crazy, just like little snacks there on the table as they sit there. And I look over at you all as you sit down. Enid looks over. All right, so we'll need some very interesting introductions pretty quickly, or this whole conversation might be over. How'd you come about the names that were dropped?
I pull out a potion, a dense purple liquid with a little bit of pink that's floating in it, and I'll slide it over to her, and I'll say, "This will allow you to see my thoughts, and I will not offer any resistance. That'll save a lot of time as to how serious we are and how truthful we are."
The blonde woman kind of reaches over and picks it up, opens it up, sniffs it for a second, and then she'll down the potion, kind of glance over at you.
I will let my mind be open.
Okay.
And I will see how long it takes before she's like, no.
With that, like as she downs it and she sees, and the blonde looks at you, Enid. All right, now, so how'd you come about this information?
And again, I just look at the blonde lady and I say telepathically into her head, "This is how." And I show the full story of Valkyrie and how we lost her and what we did and how we did it, who we fought, how we beat them, how we took down that entire mountain of bad guys, and ultimately what our end game is. I will shield Theodosia from that name.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, that's it. And if she starts getting into it, I may embellish my role and size in the story. Maybe make myself look a little bit more swole, you know. But otherwise, no embellishment.
Yeah. After a moment, Enid will kind of glance and nod, take you all in. All right. Impressive. Well, then. What is it you seek of us, then?
I'm going to look at the blonde woman again and be like, okay, this is going to be tricky because you're kind of good looking, but I'll try and focus. And I'm just going to give a concept of a long line of people with collars on their knees in front of a crowd of Pylorum citizens baying for their blood, and the Iron Oaks standing behind them, slitting their throats.
All right. And about this time, the waiter comes out, and you see him like start stepping towards your old table, and he like pauses and glances over and kind of shrugs and walks over. Here you go, the bouquet for you guys. And it's like, it's a bowl, but then it's got a various melons and fruits in there, strawberries, but then out of it too, there's like these skewers in there that have these various like fruits that have been cut to look like flowers coming out of it. And all of that has been then drizzled over with like a reddish sweet sauce that's like adding to it as well.
God damn, I would eat the shit out of that right now out of character.
Sounds really good. That's why I was like, that sounds good fruit.
Right now.
Yeah. Anything else before I go, guys? Enid will kind of look over. No. Thank you, Jared. We appreciate it. We'll let you know if we need more. And he bustles off. Kind of goes over to the other couple of tables that are there on this terrace, and Enid looks back at you. All right. These are things we can get on board with, of course. We should continue this. If we needed you, since you know how to get a hold of us, where should we find you?
Well, that's interesting. We've only been in the city for one night. We are looking to make moves very, very quickly. So, to that end, you're the first people that we came to see. Don't take this the wrong way. Pylorum is large, and in my experiences, territories for gangs, let me rephrase, special interest groups tend to be more localized. To that end, I'm fairly sure you have some allies within the city who you probably need to get in contact with as well.
We have a few scattered around.
We are a big fire. And the problem with a big fire is it's easily put out if everyone is trying to throw water on it. But if there's a big fire, but also a lot of small fires all throughout the city, it becomes much harder to focus. Do you understand?
I think we can gather that, yes. You seem to be very capable, and if you are as capable as what you're showing off, my friend here, is, then you may be able to pull something off, especially if we can distract and strike.
Distract and strike and hide. No one needs to die. No one needs to stand. It's merely a distraction that we require. Less of a war of a rhino and more of a war of the fleet.
All right. Well, you know where to find us. But again, is there any locations that I could track you down if I needed you? Or needed to pass on information?
Well, perhaps you can accommodate us. We'd be happy to, if necessary, to pay coin. But really, a safe house behooves both parties in this instance. And we could go to a public house and we can just act like other people. But quite frankly, to have a safe house where we can actually go in and out, and the only people who know about it are the people at this table, well, that's just smart. Something close to the palace. Within maybe as close to the palace as possible.
All right. I might be able to accommodate something. I'll need to talk with some people first. And your next steps for today? That anything I need to be aware of?
Get drunk.
That instills one with much confidence.
Lucius would, like, under the table, point his finger at you. I have to leave in a little while for that meeting. I don't know who's gonna go with.
Sorry, mate, you broke up there. I didn't actually hear what you said. Sorry, mate.
Lucius would message you that he's gonna have to leave in a little while and who's coming with to the meeting.
Oh, we have another meeting I think we need to attend to. But perhaps we arrange to speak after that.
All right.
Shall we perhaps meet down in the foyer here for sunset? Maybe an hour before.
This is my usual table. We can reserve this for this evening if that works. Unless you have a problem with being up here in the open air.
I have no problem with that. Do you have a problem with us adjusting this area to make it easier for us to enter and exit without having to come through the front door?
I mean, I don't own the place. They just tend to look the other way when I have my discussions. If you enter a different way, I don't think they'll complain.
Good to know we have options. I look over at Piles like, it's good to have options.
All right, then. Anything I can help you with, since you are new to the city, as you say?
I'm not really a thinker for these particular things. My colleagues here are the more militaristic people. I tend to just drink and sing and fuck.
And in other times, that would sound like the perfect life.
I send a little message into her head at that point and go, you have no idea, girl. I think you're horny now.
Lucius would mention, is there anybody we should stay away from other than the guards?
Well, it seemed from the general things you're gathering and your friends has told me, you know to stay away from the colored ones. Be careful with the riffraff of the streets, as some of them are reputable, some of them are not, but most would sell you for a dime or two.
When they mention the collared ones, I would like, have you ran into many of them?
Mm-hmm. Well, there's probably about 30 of them here in the city. Most stay within the castle itself. There's maybe one or two that venture out. One notably tends to spend most evenings outside.
Oh, really?
Yes, there's a lady,
Hold on, let me find the note. There's a lady, a Catherine. Oh, that's the name I think I've heard her give. Red-haired woman. She tends to go to the Silver Coat in the evenings. Enjoy the
Interesting.
music, so they say, but I'm not sure why. She tends to go by herself, too.
Strange. Whenever I've seen a collared one, they're usually accompanied by bare minimum armed guard escort. To have anybody go out alone, I look at Randy, just it seems like a bad investment.
Yes, puzzles us as well. It seems like they go out on their own as quietly and secretively as they can, from what we've been able to track down.
Let's see. I'm not sure if you're aware, but a good knock spell is all you really need to relieve one of those necklaces.
Really? That
Yeah.
would be interesting. All right.
To that end, if you're able to get hold of any scrolls with knock on them, I would appreciate that.
There'll be compensation, of course.
If necessary. But I think you know what we're playing for here, and it's a bit more than just money.
See what we can gather. She kind of gives a side glance at the blonde-haired woman sitting to her left. All right. Well, sounds good.
Take a skewer of fruit and I'll go for the road. And I'm gonna send one. Just look at the blonde woman one last time, and I'm just gonna give her full-on Baskin Robbins of different options available to her later on. Like,
you feel like that bond almost break, like almost immediately. You just. Well, she kind of blinks and twists her head a little bit. All right, lover boy. I think you had a meeting, right? Enid says. The blonde has not said anything the whole time, but.
Are we leaving now?
we're leaving now.
I take the breakfast wine as we go.
As we hit the stairs, I'm gonna use the what is it called, seething, or to change her looks.
Oh, seeming. Yeah, he can
Seeming.
make.
I'm
you
gonna
guys
change
look however you
all
want.
their looks except for myself. So that
Okay.
way, when we go in there, and I will tell them once I change their looks, in case anything happens, they know what I look like. They won't know what you look like, so you can keep an eye out, see if anything looks odd.
Are you changing my appearance or my clothes?
Both.
Okay. Can you? I ask if you can make my likeness like that hired sword. What's his name, Marcus?
Marcus, I would love to.
Oh, geez. All right, yeah.
And can
Cool.
you make me look like Senator Heller?
Sure, but
Like a male version of that. Like it's
Yeah.
slightly off, but 100% that
Yeah.
severe bun look going on for
Yeah.
sure.
I'll make Pius look like a garden gnome.
Can I ask also, GM, I don't know if I do still have it. Do I still have the super annoying horn?
I think you
I
traded
gave that
that
up.
in. Yeah.
Yeah, trade
Towards something
Help me
else.
out.
Yeah.
And
it.
traded
Yeah,
that.
makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a good idea at the time.
Yeah.
But I don't regret missing it at all.
It's okay. Everything's fine. All right. You guys make your way to the central garden here.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, it is a couple blocks. Well, I mean, multiple blocks essentially, but one big section of the city over. But you kind of reach this area, and essentially where the road ends, there's like, knee-high fence or like stone paving, like stone wall. That's better, wall. But a knee-high stone wall that kind of comes up that surrounds the area with many breaking points for people to easily walk in. Some of the areas have like a hedge that kind of surrounds the edges of it. But then this large area is grassed in. There's even like a lake that you can spot. And this particular area kind of like divots down, like subsides a little bit to where the lake is. There are green trees growing here and there. Some of them have fruit that are currently growing on them. There is, as you kind of wander through this area, a large like gazebo set up there, where there are tables set out. There is a small like kitchen that's kind of attached to it on the side, and they seem to be serving people at these tables underneath the gazebo. Not too far away though, there is like a small copse of trees there, and that kind of provides a more shaded area, a more secluded area. And in amongst those, there would be the people that you had, or at least Lucius had gathered, gone over and bribed earlier in the day to have this sort of meeting. In particular, the blonde-haired half-elf was sitting there, leaning up against a tree, and there is a large Goliath that's kind of standing near him, wearing like fairly heavy looking armor, strapped with like a great axe to his back, and he's standing there like arms are crossed, talking to this male. And as you guys approach, are you guys coming just out in the open walking, or are you doing some sort of sneak thing? What's anything you guys are doing?
I'd like to think I'd let Lucius walk on slightly ahead. And
I'll be I definitely will be staying behind by about 30 feet, but I will be playing my instrument softly, strumming away.
I'll be within 10 feet, but not with him, if that makes sense. Wherever in the vicinity that I can, similarly like the balcony, lean up against and still hear.
Yeah. If Lucius one, when he starts approaching them, in his mind he's gonna tell this guy, be ready in case shit goes down. And he's gonna start approaching, and as soon as he meets the gaze of the half elf, he's gonna say in Elvish, mind if I join you?
I'll kind of glance at you and glance around at the couple of individuals that are following you in general. I think that was the whole point, wasn't it? I'll say in Elvish back to you.
Yeah.
Gesture, and the Goliath will look him over and kind of like, hey, common. Oh, easy, big guy. It's fine. They're fine. We'll speak in common now. And kind of gestures. Please join us. And they step a little bit more into the tree line so that they're a little less like straight out in the open.
He'll pretty much he'll sit or lean back wherever, but he's gonna be close to the half elven guy, and he will look at that Goliath and go, "It's quite the sword you got there."
Thank you. What is you all about?
Well, as you can tell, I'm a soldier, I'm a fighter, and I'm pretty much here to get shit done.
All right, I can respect that. My boy here tells me that you're all looking for information or things, and you're dropping names like the Cloud Vipers.
I will speak for myself. I'm not gonna speak for my associates, but we had dealings with the Cloud Vipers, and we believe that the people in the castle need to go down, and then whoever takes over is up to you guys. We just need information and a distraction, and we'll deal with the rest. Unless you want to take somebody's head off. I mean, that's why you got the sword.
So you guys want us to, what, attack some random gods in the middle of the city, or?
That wouldn't be bad, but if you can kind of strategize like a few spots to hit them where if the big alarm goes off, they'll be delayed or they can't come back at all, that would be nice. Also, any information on ways for us to get to the castle with the least amount of, people bothering us, that wouldn't be a bad idea either. Anything helps, pretty much.
Well, and he gestures like across the greens where you have like a pretty clear view from there straight to the castle, like main gates. These are large iron like portcullis. This is like in view from there, the big wooden oaken doors that are like shut behind it. There's the castle right there. Get to it pretty easy. Not many people between you and there. Inside, I don't know. Never been. Never had a clue how to get in. They don't let people like us in. As far as distractions, well, we could probably put up some roadblocks, cause some trouble for guards rushing to their aid, if that's what we're talking about. We're no cloud vipers. Got no business deciding who rules this realm. Nor do I think anyone would be really interested in allowing us to do so. So, other than risking our lives and possibly overthrowing one government for another, what's in it for us?
Well, I'll humor this. What is it that you want?
Well, money's always good. And glances over. That sword of yours looks mighty nice too.
Yeah, not the sword. Money is no problem though. Or my source of spear at the moment, actually.
Oh, yeah. Well, whatever. That weapon of yours looks mighty nice. All right. Well, when are you talking about? And how much gold you got to offer?
I guess that really depends. How much are you guys willing to do?
I mean, we're not exactly like the biggest group in the world, so we could probably hold up a couple of the thoroughfares through the garden ward, slow anyone down. Could perhaps even strike small guard groups here and there if that's what you're looking for. If there was a signal that would alert us, we could do that. Say all that we could do for 500 gold.
Is there anything that I can roll to maybe try to, a little?
I mean, yeah, you can roll.
As I'm hearing him having this conversation and what they're asking, I'm going to throw a bardic inspiration as I'm singing softly. Yeah, just to throw it towards him there real quick.
I'll persuade him and I'll say, how about I give you 300 and then afterwards you can loot whatever the hell you want. There'll be plenty.
Okay, roll your persuasion.
What's the bardic?
I think I'm still at D8. Let me check. Hold on.
Pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah. Let's say D8. It is.
So that's 23.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I figured you're traveling with a sellsword like that one, and gestures towards where Hendrix is standing, looking like Marcos. He could afford 500, but
well, he's that's the reason why I don't have that much money, sadly to say. So, but if anything happens and I do find some extra gold, I'll be more than happy to throw your way. I'm not greedy.
Fair enough. Fair enough. What's the timetable looking like? When you thinking?
I would say within the week, but or sooner. Okay, a few days. But why don't you tell me a place where I can find you guys if need to be, and then we'll go from there.
Well, you found my boy here, and he like nudges the half elf pretty easily. So it's usually at the same damn spot. You can always find him there. Let me know.
I gotcha. By the way, who was it that asked about my sword? Was it the big guy or the
Goliath? Yeah.
Okay,
He seems to be the one doing all the talking.
I'm gonna give him my crimson spear. I'm gonna be like, I can't give you this one, but here you can have this, and I'll give him the crimson spear.
We'll grab it, look at it, kind of twirl it around a little bit. All right, I'll take that as a down payment.
It has quite a neat trick. When you heal somebody, if you're hurt, it will heal you.
Fair
All right,
enough.
it's a deal then. He'll throw out his hand to do like a warrior check type thing.
He'll take your arm. When you tell me the time and place, I expect payment.
You got it. I'll as we start leaving, like he'll start walking away. I'll message Hendrix, because I don't know if he still has the ring or not, but I think in his mind he thinks he does. When you have a chance, if you talk to Dusha, see if there's any chance that I can get some money ahead of time, just let her know that it's to pay a group that's gonna help us, and then I'll pay her back, as soon as possible. I'll pay. What is it called when you get money ahead?
Advance.
Advance, yeah.
All I'm thinking in my head is like, he's given them more money. I'm like, I can't. Randy's got the ring. Ask him later.
Okay. I'll just message Randy and yeah, when you talk to Dosha.
Yeah, who is this? What's going on?
You know who it is. I need an advancement of 300 gold if we can let Tadosha know, so I can pay the group is gonna help us out.
300. I telepathically respond, going like absolute silence, but I want there to be a message of silence that's sent through to you telepathically. You know what I mean? I want to be like,
so the more people that help, the better for us.
again, telepathically. Just the.
I love you too, sweetie.
Oh boy! All right. With that meeting done, what is your guys' game plan? You still have you have your warehouse you've rented.
Right.
Yeah, we got to think about teleportation circle there. That's
Yep.
the biggest space we have for it, and then we've got the Silver Tavern later, and to spy on this woman with a collar to see if she comes out.
100%. I'd also like to see I'd like to spend a bit of time just outside the palace looking for servants coming in and out, and see if I can spot anyone that looks like they might be my kind of people. Yeah. If I see, I mean, I doubt I'm going to see anyone with black and white on there for sure, but
Yeah.
it would be nice if I could see the kind of servant who leaves their establishment of work like, I need a pint, and I'm going to follow them to see where they're going. You know what I mean? But having said that, I would say that to the group, saying I think might be a good idea to actually see if we can find one person who's got an inside to the actual palace itself.
Yeah, I agree. I was actually going to see if Pios has noticed any sewer systems, because
That's a great idea. Damn it! I wish I thought of it. Says, yeah. So yeah,
if
Maybe
he's still
sewer
about,
systems.
he's been very quiet today. I think he's upset that we didn't eat his breakfast, to be honest.
I mean, I'm surprised he just didn't hurl some stones at that Goliath. He's really improved.
Same. I was kind of shaken a little bit because I was like, oh no.
As soon as I saw Goliath, I could practically hear his neck snap in anticipation. You know what I mean? But all right.
I
So-
have restraint.
Fucking. Every time.
I know.
He didn't have a rock, that's why he didn't kill him.
Besides, I could have took him out.
We have
No
faith
one
in you.
doubts your ability to take someone out at this point, man. You take more people out than me, quite frankly. Okay. So, in
what
order,
are we doing
let's-
besides spending all of your money?
not my money, his money. It's his money. We have the afternoon and we have the evening. I suggest 2 by 2. Head off towards the castle and see whether about we can find any people coming out that look like they are disgruntled workers, and possibly someone checking out city planning ordinances to find if we can find a sewage system to find entrance into the palace.
Okay.
And then from there we meet up again over at the Silver Goat, find this Lady Katrine, kill the shit out of her, head back to spend the night at the warehouse, send a message through to Sagranus, see if we can get him to come and join us there, and he can actually start building a teleport circle from that point.
We might want to get some supplies and stuff then for the warehouse, because I doubt he's going to be able to just make it. What sort of thing do you need for a teleportation circle? Chalk, paint, ash.
Hang on.
What?
Can I try and remember if I've seen anything about this in my father's library, or potentially inside Sagranus's conversations I've had with him at his place when we're still back with the Dosha?
Sure, if you want to give me an Arcana check.
I do want to give you a check. Nat 20. 23.
All right.
Nice.
You got to get one nat 20 in a session, guys. Otherwise, what are you even doing with your life?
Or 2 nat 1s, it don't really matter.
You know what, fair one. That's actually kind of better than a nat 20.
I'd rather 2 nat 20s.
I mean, yeah. But 3 nat 1s. Oh,
The hell is going on with this? Why are you not working? Sorry. I was trying to look up the
That'd be
specific
awful.
spell.
You had elven accuracy, and then you rolled 3 nat 1s.
Oh, no.
You'd have to stop being. I think you have to hand in your bows and arrows at that point. You're
Yeah.
like, here's one bow, here's another bow, here's my other bow, here are all my quivers.
So you would know through your conversation, based on that roll, that this spell teleportation circle, it requires chalks, so rare chalks that are infused with precious gems worth 50 gold pieces, which are consumed upon the spell's use.
So the total value is 50 gold pieces?
Yes, for this, for teleportation circle, yes.
I got
which
it.
Is
I look over at Hendrix and go, I've got it, it's not a problem.
Okay. Maybe we could pick up some essentials, like obviously all of our sleeping stuff is back on the ship, and
Yeah.
if he's bringing the ship here, where are we putting the ship? Is he going to stay outside town? Are we dropping off the Cloud Vipers off the ship? I don't actually want to leave them solely on my ship, our ship. Sorry, I slipped the tongue.
It's your ship. It's definitely not my ship. It's definitely not their ship. It's definitely your ship. You are the captain, and you love hearing us say it to you to reaffirm you. I get it. That's fine.
To be honest, it's the first time I've actually heard you say it to me, and yeah, I admit it felt nice.
I will need supplies. We are continuing
Okay.
to do city stuff. I am not well equipped to breaking into entering places and killing people.
Okay.
I will need that stuff in between before I kill them.
Right. Okay, so you go equipment shopping, and Hendrix, you sort out warehouse stuffs. Maybe if you happen to find some chalks with gems in, that would be ideal. But if you don't worry about it. Okay.
While I'm out, is there anything y'all want me to do? Kill someone, kidnap someone, what?
I'll come with you on that walk, Pius.
Okay.
Maybe if we spot any waste hatches or sewer works, we could make a mental note if they face the.
I have found out from the last city that we're in, not all the sewers go into the castle area itself, so I had to find alternative methods. So following the servants home is always a good thing.
Yeah. Okay, so do you want me to do that, or who do you want to do that?
No, I can do that. Then I can tell you where their house is. Then we can break in and plant you in a chair before they come in.
We want them to be on side from get. Might be a better idea than don't need to do that. Don't want to be in a position where they feel antagonistic to us. So it might make more sense for us to be a friend rather than fear. To that end, maybe follow them home so we know where they are. But if they're going to a bar or a tavern for the day, then maybe we get to buy them a drink and have a word in their shell like.
You can do that. I will wait in their house alone when they get home.
Pius, remember, you always catch more bees with honey instead of vinegar.
That's
Sometimes the sweeter approach is better.
I have caught
Not true.
many bees with other things.
I want to know more, weirdly, but I not now maybe. Okay, so we got equipment that you need, and do you want to investigate best ways to get into the palace yourself using your skill set?
If Hendrik is willing to help, then we can do it together.
I can assist, of course. I've got Daisy.
I do
And I
not
can
want
message.
Lucius to help. He will just try to spend money and look like a fool.
I think I need Lucius for something else anyway.
Now.
Cool.
You should.
I think these are the
Remember-
twos then.
Prison. Not good.
Yeah, no, agreed. I'll keep him out of jail. But Lucius, you could be quite useful right now to actually find out if these guys are interested in setting up little areas of danger. Perhaps you might want to use that great big military mind of yours and do a slow walk around the city and see how many guardhouses are around. Find spots which we could say on the corner of such and such. You know what I mean?
Oh yes, that's not a bad idea.
That way we can actually come back to these people. Timeline, guys, timeline. The longer we leave this, the longer we let them get a chance to regain the upper hand. I say we get this completed by midnight tomorrow night.
When I go walking with Randall, I'm gonna take out like a notebook, kind of do like plays, like look at areas and bridges and whatever, and try to see like narrow spaces and spots where traps can be set up or anything. Is there anything that my military background will help me with, or do you need me to roll shit?
I'd say you could roll. I don't know what role would you think would be something you would use to be able to spot these various things. I mean, perception's okay, but I'd be open for other things if you had that in mind. And also, I guess, how much of the city are you guys traversing during this time?
We've got like 4 hours until it's like sunset, right? 4 hours until it's now before
I'd
sunset.
say a lot longer than that. Like that was lunch we just had.
Yeah, you're right about.
Okay.
Well, you're supposed to meet the guy at noon, so you guys had your breakfast, then you headed basically straight to another tavern. So it was maybe like 10ish or so, maybe a little bit later. You guys had some wine and some snacks, and then you went at midday to this area in the garden. So yeah, you guys probably have 5 to 6 hours before sunset.
So we said an hour before sunset, we're going to be meeting back with Enid.
Yeah.
So if we've got 4 or 5 hours for a slow circumference around the city, I reckon we can cover around Castle Ward, but it probably would behoove us to get it to really take a look around Terrace Ward, down by Garden Ward and Market Ward. So they're further away from the castle, you know? Maybe we'll take, if Lucius, you're up for it, we take the main drag, go past the castle, go and do a slow loop, figure of 8 style through the Market Ward, come out through the base of that, and then do a figure 8 through the Garden Ward and come back up towards Enid's spot after.
I'm down for. That sounds very good. I was gonna ask you, do we wanna maybe check out that place and just see what that Katrine lady looks like, or another time?
No, we're gonna wait until the nighttime when she'll definitely be in there. But we don't. Yeah, we want her to get ensconced and do her usual thing. We don't want to be the guys waiting around for people.
No, I wasn't saying waiting around. Just like a quick drive by and take a look. Bill, which role makes sense to you? Because I was looking maybe investigation, but I just I don't know what else makes sense.
Yeah, I think investigation or perception probably would work just fine.
Sure.
I'll throw you another bardic.
Would I get advantage or no?
Yeah, I'd give you advantages since your
I'll do
purview was
investigation
military and protection of
even though it's a -1.
the city. Yeah. Okay.
Take a bardic because I'm saying to you, Rockwell's, somebody's watching me.
Oh, nice. I got 2 nat 20s. Holy shit.
Holy hell. This is a weird day. We get the nat 20s, we get the nat 1s.
I might as well roll the 8 too. Why not?
Yeah.
It happened. We willed it into
2.
existence.
Yeah.
Now Pius just needs to get 3 nat 1s.
Yeah.
Somebody's watching me.
Okay, while he's rolling that, is there other...
Oh, I
Other
already
things.
rolled it.
Okay.
It was 22 altogether.
Okay, 22 altogether. Okay,
Because I
cool.
got the 20.
Yeah, I mean, you would definitely see there's not really like bridges. There's, the 4 main roads that kind of go through the city with a few other decent sized roads that go through, and then there's like the alleyways that break up each individual block, if you would call it that. It's probably bigger than like a city block sort of thing, but like as depicted on the map here, each of those like squares that they're kind of built into have alleyways that go through from there.
Billy, don't they look more like estates? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like 100% they look like estates right there.
Which one's the Council Estates and which one's the posh ones?
I mean,
Uh,
100% Market Ward. 100%. That's the spot you don't want to be in, bruv. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Oh yeah, no.
I think what Lucius would do is he will look around and places that he think would be like good ambush spots or spots where they could lead somebody to, and then like surround them and places where maybe they can put traps, and he'll start drawing like the things and writing stuff, and he's gonna note that for later.
Okay, I'm gonna mark on these spots where he's noting them out. I'm gonna put using a pink chalk mark. I'm gonna put a smiley face with the eyes have been X'd out.
Okay. So I've marked 3 of the guardhouses that you guys have kind of spotted. So as you're walking through, you'll see the one you already knew about by the cart ride, the one you kind of spotted from the Terrace Tavern. We've got one over that I'm sure, because you said you're going to kind of weave over near the Castle Ward area. Is that right?
Yeah.
You see the one up here. Those are 3 main guardhouses that you would spot, given that. You probably, I guess if you head in that direction, probably are not going through the other ward. So that's kind of, let's see, was there one? That's Blackbriar. Yeah, that's kind of what you guys have as far as the known guardhouses, per se. There's not really great pathways other than perhaps, if something could block the main road somehow or congest the main road somehow, that would probably damper travel through the city pretty heavily, especially like the 2 guardhouses by the 2 main gates on the west and east. They seem, at least, they seem to be fairly heavily fortified, and so that like their direction coming in and out would have to then be decided.
Are we seeing any kids about running around doing stuff, looking like they're up to no good?
Give me a perception check.
Dang
Or
it.
insight check would probably be better. Give me an insight check.
Oh, that's alarming. Okay, hold on. 7. No. Yeah, 7. Brutal.
Okay, yeah, with that, not really easy to tell anything much about the kids that you see running around.
Any beggars?
Yeah, I mean, there'd be a few beggars here and there,
Can I go up to one of them and have a quick word in their shell, like?
Okay.
Go. Hey, you want to make some quick coin?
Yes. What, boy? See, it's like an old woman, kind of like huddled with like rags and like layers kind of piled on. She's got a cup out.
I've got a bet with one of my friends that I can't get a picture drawn on every guardhouse over inside the temple ward within the next 24 hours. Now I bet him 500 gold pieces that it can get done. But he's making it difficult because he's gone and told all the guards what I look like. So here, and I hand her a pink chalk pack and I go, now, when you do this and we win, he'll give me 500 gold pieces. I'll give you 100. Look me in the eyes and tell me I'm a lie.
Well, if you got that kind of coin, you're expecting some. I wouldn't mind a few of them up front to put something warm in my belly.
If you want something warm for your belly, I'll feed you. If you need something to get drunk on, I'll give you a drink. But a bet is a bet, and I don't have that coinage until we win.
Give me a persuasion check or deception check, whichever direction you're
Can I slap him in the back and give him guidance?
Fuck it. You know, I'm gonna add in the guidance as well for giggles. That's a 33.
She reaches out and grabs the chalk. Best be coming back with coin for me, boyo.
This spot right here, yeah? Corner of hydrangea, eucalyptus. I got you, babe.
This is my spot, yes.
What's your name?
Mary.
Mary, my name is Michael Pendergrass. Dr. Michael Pendergrass.
Okay, doctor. No problem. Kind of get up, gather up some of her things. She'll take your shot. Gonna start hobbling off towards the north.
Cool. That's I should take care of that quarter. Worst comes to worst, got some mad old bird putting drawings all over guardhouses.
All right.
And with that, we've done our duty in the guardhouse. We can head back to the palace. Those guys are doing what they're doing.
Okay. What is everyone else up to?
I think we're heading to the Castle Ward district, whatever it's called. Yeah, Castle Ward.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, you guys kind of broke up from the central greens there.
mhm.
So yeah, you're heading into the castle ward, but
Do
you're
I
like,
still look like Marcus? The seeming spell, is it
Yeah.
still on?
it lasts 8 hours unless he decides he wants to drop it. So that Lucius,
I would.
are you still seeming?
I mean, I would have not dropped it unless they told me to.
Yeah.
So
And
I would have
then-
asked to drop it on myself, yeah.
okay, then I would have dropped it then.
Pius, we need to get supplies, but obviously we don't want to carry them around with us
we can
while
do
we're
that.
investigating.
We can do
Do you
that
want
afterward.
to? I suggest we stop at the shop on the way back. I'm sure the market ward has got somewhere we can buy all the supplies we need and drop them off at the same time.
Oh,
Shall we head towards the west gate?
we can. How
and,
stealthily do we want to travel?
We can stay off the main road if you like. And we can...
I have magic.
Right, calm down. No need for that. I know what that loaded in that ring. Okay.
No, I have real magic. I can
Little
make us
confused what he means by
disappear.
that now.
I can make us blend in to our natural surroundings, more so than normal.
I look at all the man-made buildings.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is called urban camouflage.
Ooh.
I can
Okay.
make us look
Out
like
of,
brick.
out of pure curiosity of the magic you say you now wield. Yes, let's go stealthy in urban camouflage.
Okay. I cast Pass Without a Trace.
Okay. If you two want to make your stealth rolls.
Which is going to hopefully be insane.
Yeah, plus 10 no?
Yeah, I got a 10 total. 10 and then 10, so 20.
20, dirty 20. Okay.
All right. 33.
All right. Okay. So you guys are able to kind of like move through the city, blending in for the most part. And what is it you're looking for as you're doing this?
Elevation, which way the water's flowing mainly. Like if we see a sewer system, I'm only assuming it's like ours, so like a hole in the ground where you can see the water flowing. Is it going downhill, uphill? Like towards the castle, away from it? Like, is there multiple different ones? Is there a main, like, well hatch?
Okay. Yeah, give me an investigation check as you go through.
You want to do it, and I can assist you.
Let's do it the other way around. You investigate.
Well,
I'm more of a perception-y sort of
I
person.
mean, I only have a +1 in investigation.
That beats me by 2.
Okay, well then. Okay then. Okay.
All right. So advantage investigation.
Advantage versus investigation. Okay. Oh, these dice suck donkey balls. I'm going back to the old ones. Screw you, Bill. 9.
Yeah, it's. I mean, you see sewer spots here and there, but to gather the actual information as to like where it flows or how it's going, it seems to be really tough to tell. It's not like the fastest moving stream of sewage, so
Yeah.
you're having trouble kind of getting
Indigo
glimpses.
Shall we move on to plan 2?
What else were you looking for as you were looking around there?
Servants, people, movement of ins and outs of, things.
Staff members.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, if you want to give me a perception check on that one, someone. You guys can roll separately or one roll with advantage.
What are we rolling this time?
I already have advantage on perception, so.
All right. So Hendrix rolls, you roll with advantage then.
Okay.
And then you guys kind of get tripled, and if you all get nat ones, I'll laugh.
You've said it. I want it to come true now. I got a 25 total.
Okay, that wasn't
Yes.
a nat one.
I also have a 25 total.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, as you guys kind of just sheer walk across the grass here, you spot several servants exiting the castle walls, heading about. At this hour, it seems like they're heading about on like duties and errands. You even see a cart kind of go out with 4 servants, and the servants all seem to be wearing these kind of red robes with the tree and sword on them. They're again the tree that doesn't have any leaves on them, the same banners that you've kind of seen throughout the city walls and upon the main gates here at the castle. And they're heading out so some of them just individually running out doing things. One seems to be heading out with a cart heading at least steering towards like the market ward, it seems.
Nice.
Hendrix. Last time I followed one, I followed them as being most attractive to Randall. So if we want to go that route, we can, or we can follow the guy or lady in the cart.
We need to go to the marketplace, so we could probably bump into her there, or this market ward as such, and we can try and have a conversation with them there. But I feel it's best to catch them while they're not working, when they've let their guard down.
Indeed.
If we could maybe overhear or get what time they finish their shift, and we know what time to return, or even an area where we know they hang out after work, we could maybe go there. Let's try not and get all the information yet. Let's just see what we can get, little pieces to add up into the big piece. There's no harm in us following this one to the ward, the market ward now. Worst case scenario, we can fade away into the background.
Indeed.
Before we leave, can I ask a question about their uniforms?
Okay.
Are they, to the strict word, uniform? Are they all exactly the same, or are they just same coloured, same emblem, but different clothing? Like, is one wearing a jacket? Is another one wearing a blouse, but they're still the same colours and insignia? Or are they all suit, jacket, that sort of thing?
Yeah. So they all seem to be pretty much uniform, with the exception of one of the individuals that left and scurried more easterly along the main road there seemed to be his tree and his sword seemed to be like embroidered in like a silver outline sort of thing. Like the rest, it just seemed like they're wearing the red like cloaks and robes of the servants, but they had like basically black, like stitched on, nothing too crazy. The other one seems to be almost like silver, and even has like a jeweled spot on the hilt of the sword, like in the center.
Okay.
Of
He's head servant or something.
Yeah, it seems to be somewhat of more import than the rest of the group.
I'll try and take a good mental note of just the style of clothing in hopes Randy, or now even Lucius, could recreate this later. And head off towards Pios, following the cart.
Okay. Excellent. You guys follow the cart. You will see that it comes to like a warehouse spot within this group of buildings here in this middle. And they kind of turn down like a side alley, position the cart and bang on some doors, and a few individuals will walk out. Are you sticking around to see more, or are you just
I
clocking
will
there?
leave Daisy to watch them.
Okay.
And hopefully listen in. Be weird if we just went over and started talking to them as they're doing their job. So probably, if Pius can get closer, I'm not going to deny him his thrill. But
Yeah.
I feel it's best just let Daisy listen.
Okay, sounds good. Pios, are you up to anything, or are you good to let Daisy do their thing?
Has the hour passed already?
You're probably like in half of it or so in, so you still have a little bit of time.
Are we just waiting for them to finish? Are we moving on to something else?
Well, we've got to get the supplies, take it to the warehouse, and then we're going to go to the Silver Coat and meet the other two for drinks. And no, we don't. We need to go to the terrace, then the Silver Coat. So yeah, we have got other things to do after this.
Well, what I'm saying is, you just going to leave Daisy here, or should I go in?
Oh, don't go in. Definitely don't go in. There's only me here for backup, and I've got no way of communicating with them guys. I don't know where so let's just survey, be safe. Don't go inside. Don't get me wrong, if you find an open window and you can peer inside, but don't go in the building alone.
Very well then. I will wait outside with you.
Hendrix is like a big sigh of relief. He's like, I don't know how I convinced him not to go inside.
All right. Perfect. Yeah, so you guys are able to kind of hang around as Daisy finds a perch kind of nearby and uses her keen hearing. You're able to kind of pick up just conversation and kind of like chit chat at first. First the guy asked for the papers, and one of the servants hands over, a scroll, which the guy unrolls, kind of looks it over,
All right. Everything seems to be in order. And he'll gesture towards the other individual that came out with him, and he'll kind of throw open these double doors at the back of this like warehouse and open up. And they just kind of like chit chat a little bit, like, "Oh, how's your family? What's going on? Blah blah blah." And it seems like they're loading like crates of like produce and foodstuffs onto this cart, bringing, filling that up, and they're just kind of chatting a little bit about what's going on in the city and what they're up to, sort of thing. Seem to be fairly friendly with this, warehouse worker. Doesn't seem to get too in depth into anything though, so it just depends on, I don't know if there's something in particular you're looking for, if you wanted the minute details or.
Difficult, no, because it's like it was a random person leaving the castle. We just happened to follow them. Like it could have been gold, it could have been nothing. It just happened to be in the same direction we needed to go anyway.
Yeah.
Like if they were to bump off at their house on the way, golden, because we'd come back to the house later. But all we know, they've gone to a warehouse, resupplied. I gave a mental note of the warehouse location that, in case for some reason we want to abuse that knowledge.
No problem. Let's see if I can mark that somehow. Let's do different color. That did not work. Let's see if that works now. There you go. There's the warehouse. Alrighty. Meanwhile, what else is what do we got on the other side? Lucius and Randy, what else are you guys up to? Convinced an old lady to go tag up
We've also marked up pretty much the whole of the guardhouses in the market ward. We look at the time, see that we've got to get over to the Terrace Tavern. On the way through to the Terrace Tavern, I'd like to take a look around for a shop, or they have wares on the streets. So I guess I'm looking as we're going through for that guy who has more leather on his body than strictly he needs. The kind of guy that just looks like he wants to tell you just how much his parents were killed when he was a kid, and now he just seeks his vengeance. That guy who's like got way too many knives that don't look like they would be very functional. That's the guy I want to go up to and see what wares he's selling.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. As you're kind of taking in this kind of street area, you will see a minotaur sitting off to the side. He's got like a mohawk. He's wearing various leathers kind of thrown on.
Yeah. That's my guy. Yeah.
You
100%.
see a few daggers.
That's
my
yeah, gold. Yeah.
Big old sword strapped to his back.
Yeah. I'm gonna tap what should be Lucius's shoulder, but of course it's just the side of his knee. And I'll say, "Follow me." I'm gonna go over to this guy, and I'm gonna, as I'm approaching him, I'm gonna put a thought in his head, going, "Well, this is a guy who looks like he wants to buy some thieves' tools. I hope I've got what he needs." I'm gonna walk up and I'll be like, "Hello, do you have any thieves' tools?"
Hello. Yes. You want thieves' tools?
Yeah.
I got the best in town. Don't you worry about it.
Thieves, and then I'm going to again have the telepathic thought, and this time I'm going to try and modulate so it's just his voice again. I'm going to go, I hope I don't send the shitty stuff. He looks like he's a nice geezer. Plus, also his mate behind him could probably lamp me. Probably should give him the best stuff I've got for free.
Give me a persuasion check.
Can I go with deception?
Yeah, no, sorry, that's probably
Give you
better.
guidance.
Sure, why not? It's a 24 plus guidance. Make that a 28.
All right. So he'll kind of glance around, and he's got out like a bunch of like leather work stuff. Like there's like keychain looking things essentially, and various like hand braided ropes, whips, stuff like that. But then he'll kind of like go over to a crate that he was kind of sitting on, and he'll open it up, kind of move a couple things, and he reaches in, pulls out like a black leather, like rolled up tool set.
Mm-hmm.
This here, right? This here is the best tools you'll find in town. All the good groups come to me for this. I'll give you a special deal. Normally they go for 25 gold. I'm willing to give this to you for 18. You look like a good chap. I think you could probably bring me more business.
Can I take a look at the tools and see if they actually are high quality?
Sure, yeah.
Insight, I guess, supposedly. I don't know.
Whatever's clever.
21. I'll work it. Fine.
Yeah, they look really good.
Nice.
High quality, good, like the feel of them.
Mhm.
They feel like they're sturdy. They'll manage to do the job just well.
In which case, I will pay the man the 18 gold pieces. I go, you're very kind. Appreciate that greatly. Can I ask you one other thing? And this might be a bit cheeky. You're a Minotaur, right?
Last I checked, yeah.
So people tend to think of Minotaurs generally as overly aggressive, tend to rush into a situation, but you seem like the kind of guy who can be a little bit sneaky. And I was wondering if maybe you got something that could work towards that sneakiness, because you're a big fella, but this guy behind me, he's pretty big too, and the fact is he's a bit of a loud bastard. You are, mate. Politely, you are. No, you are though. So do you have anything that could keep him a bit stum? You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I mean, I've honed my skill through years of work and effort. It's not really something that you just put on something. I mean,
Mental thought. I shouldn't lie to him. I should tell him the truth and give him that magical geezer that I got that ages ago. He's worth it. He's worth it, isn't he?
look, there's a vendor in the market ward. He sells magical gear. You probably want some like boots or
No, fair enough.
cloak or something, but them's out of my price range.
No, mine too. To be fair, I tell you what, here you go. Here's 18 gold pieces, and you look like you like. I reach into the old bag and I pull out an Umber Hulk claw and I hand it over to him. I go, "Enjoy that, mate. It's no big good for toothpicks, and then you can boil it up and it makes a nice soup." No idea if that's true. And I'm gonna pay and leave with the thieves' tools. I'm gonna wrap as we're walking up to meet the other guys. I'm gonna wrap that up with my rope of climbing,
Okay.
and tie it up in a bow, and have that ready to give to Pass when I see him next.
Cool. And I think with that, it's probably a good point for us to come to a conclusion for this week's session. We'll get back as the parties gather together at the Terrace Tavern for one more meeting with Enid and her companions, and we'll see what we get up to next.
Like, what?
Bye, everyone.
Peace out,
Thanks for
people.
joining us.
Peace.